Hey everyone, I'm Laura Gadenik. I'm an astrologer and a therapist, and I'm here to give you the therapeutic astrology for the weeks of April 20th through May 3rd, 2026. So Monday, April 20th, which was yesterday, I am a day late on posting this video, we had Mercury, Saturn, and Mars all coming together, conjoining in the sign of Aries. Now, you probably have been feeling this transit for a couple of days, maybe the 19th, also probably today on the 21st. This is a really intense and tense energy. Mars and Saturn are the two malefic planets in astrology, meaning they represent the harder things in life. Mars represents conflict, aggression, anger. In Aries, it's really strong, meaning Mars can do Mars things really well. It can be really fast and kind of fire up really easily. Saturn is a little bit opposite of Mars. It's slow, cold, and likes to take a long time and harsh. And so when the two come together, it can feel a little bit like you are stuck between a rock and a hard place. You can't go anywhere. You're in a really difficult situation, but you can't escape. You can't do anything about it. So you just kind of have to sit in this discomfort and deal with it, basically. And Mercury represents the mind, represents communications, how we think. And so, with Mercury in the mix, it can feel like conflict, like really big or intense conflict that you just kind of have to sit with, deal with, work out. Mars can bring, especially in the sign of Aries, can bring this really hot, fiery, quick energy, which means reactivity, essentially. Being reactive, saying things you regret, maybe being a little mean or spicy. And this might not even apply to being with someone else, although it definitely could. It might also just be about your own thoughts, the way you're treating yourself, the way you are in relationship with yourself and the thoughts you're having. And then Saturn comes along or is, in the mix and is like, we can't escape. We can't just run away. We have to deal with this. We have to do the hard work of slowing down. This is very Saturn. And being mature. This is also Saturn. And so, yeah, it's definitely not the most fun transit, not the most fun energy to be in, but it can also be a growth point, a growth edge in helping us slow down in really heated moments, calm down, and really question or sift through what really happened. Or are these thoughts I'm having real or true? Are they really accurate? Am I being nice to myself? Am I being nice to this person? Saturn can help kind of cool things off, even though it's really challenging too. So the result is that something meaningful is hopefully taking place or has hopefully taken place. Maybe within a relational context. It might also be that you are picking a new path. Aries is a sign about newness and regeneration, and it's like the first sign of spring. It wants to start something new. So this might also be a time frame, especially as the two planets have both been in Aries for a couple of weeks now. Or at least a week, actually. It hasn't been a couple of weeks, but we are maybe finding a new path, something new that excites us, that makes us feel alive, and we're sticking with it. We're creating a plan and committed action to get things done, to move towards this new vision or dream. So that's something else to think about with this transit. And like I said, you might still be feeling it today, April 21st. So we start the week off kind of intense. The good news is that it does get better and, easier and more expansive. Before that, though, on Thursday the 23rd, we have Venus making a conjunction with Uranus before she heads into the sign of Gemini. Venus is love, beauty, relationships, how we experience pleasure. Uranus wants to change things up, wants to make us pick a different path or try something new and different. So this might be about needing to change the way you have fun or trying something new, something you never tried before, being a little bit more experimental. And in how you experience pleasure or do relationships or how you manage money, spend your money. And it could be a little bit of a wild card, like Venus and Uranus come together and it can be, it's a good time to um, watch your wallet if that's a concern for you. um, and then Venus going into Gemini, she loses a little bit of dignity because she was at home in the sign of Taurus. However, Venus in Gemini is very fun and flirty. And it's also highlighting a different house. So whatever house where you have a Gemini on the cusp, this is going to be highlighted by Venus. She's going to be bringing sweetness and joy and pleasure and fun to this part of your life and to your chart. And then on Saturday the 25th, Uranus heads into Gemini as well. Now, this is a huge shift. Uranus has just spent about 7 years in the sign of Taurus. So we've been shaking things up, experimenting, and trying new things in the part of your chart that contains Taurus. And so with Uranus moving into Gemini, we'll have 7 years of this. Generally speaking, this will be major shifts in communications, technology, major experimentation, major innovations in these domains, even more so. And so now Uranus and Venus are both in Gemini together for a little bit before Venus heads into Cancer. And we did have Uranus in Gemini last summer for a couple of months. I'm blanking on the time frame for that, but you can look it up and look, but it's about 2 or 3 months that Uranus was in Gemini. And that was a little taste of what Uranus and Gemini was about for you. So thinking back to that time frame, you can kind of have a sneak peek of what this upcoming time period might or will represent or be like. It's going to be pretty huge for people who are mutable risings. So that's Gemini, Virgo, Pisces, and Sagittarius. If you have that as your sun sign or your rising sign, then this Uranus transit into Gemini or Uranus shift into Gemini is going to be even more big and loud for you. On the same day, the 25th, the sun makes a square to Pluto. This is might signify a powerful move, making a powerful change or transformation of some kind. Maybe making a decision or, deciding to courageously go after something or say something or decide on something. It can feel a little bit intense. Pluto is a planet about intensity. So on the 26th, Sunday, we have Venus in Gemini sextiling Neptune in Aries, and we have Mercury in Aries making a square to Jupiter in Cancer. So this kind of helps out the energy that we were feeling a little bit earlier with Mercury, Saturn, Mars coming together on the 20th. This is like a sigh of relief, fresh air, breath of fresh air. We're having a little bit more of an expansive mind, an expansive perspective, maybe some healing from earlier in the week, potentially. Good transit for learning, for having expansive conversations. And Venus and Neptune are easy, romantic, chill vibes, very mushy and sweet. Good day for a date. Tuesday the 28th, we have Venus in Gemini making a trine to Pluto in Aquarius. So this is also bringing up relationships in a very powerful and deep way. So whether that's deep honesty with someone you're in a relationship with, or deep talks about something, going deeper with someone that you're in relationship with, maybe easeful transformations in relationships, or even just a deep, sort of passionate or intense interest in the arts or in matters of justice or in gender or gender queer exploration. That could even be, that's what Venus represents too. It is a very erotic energy. Pluto and Venus coming together, very erotic. So make of that what you will, but it's deep, it's relational, it's about pleasure and love and joy and yeah. All right, so let's see what's coming up next. Friday, May 1st, we have an intense full moon in Scorpio. Thankfully, it's not going to be opposite Uranus, which it has been the last 7 years, basically. But there is a Mercury Chiron conjunction on the same day. So Mercury is the mind, Chiron is a wound or the thing that hurts. And then, full moons are times of culmination or peaks around lunar things, and that can include emotions. And so you might experience some grief or some big emotions around this time. It's a good day for release. It's a good day to be held. It's a good day to journal, write, be with a friend, be with loved ones, allow yourself to cry. And also don't believe every negative thought that comes into your head, because that could potentially happen as well with Chiron being triggered, bringing up some insecurities or beliefs about yourself that are negative that might not be true. It might feel true, but they probably aren't true. We do have a Venus sextile Saturn moment, which can feel a little bit stabilizing in relationships, and kind of grounding and settling. That can be nice. And then on Saturday the 2nd, Mercury heads into the sign of Taurus. So it's a big energy shift in terms of our mentality. Our minds turn towards a little bit more stability, groundedness. It's a more practical place for Mercury to be. We're thinking more about the practical things, and as well as things that bring comfort and ease, because that's what Taurus values as a sign. So that is the next couple of weeks. I believe today, yes, April 20th through May 3rd. Yeah, so that's the astrology for the next couple weeks. If you're interested in how this astrology impacts you more personally, I am available for consultation. So please reach out at consultation at Laura Godenick at consultation. Oh my gosh, no, consultation at lauragodenick.com. Sorry. You can also leave a comment and I can reply there. I hope that this was useful, and I'll see you in a couple weeks for the next astrology update. Take care.